Hi, my name is Alex Babcock, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about my student teaching that I did. I did my student teaching in Chester, South Dakota. That's roughly about 10 miles east of Madison. So I commuted every single day from Madison to Chester. I was with the third grade classroom and Miss Arndt. She was the cooperating teacher. Some things that we co-taught together. To, co-taught the reading for the first 3 weeks, and then I took over the reading and the science and social studies. I took over that after about 2 weeks, and then the math. That's the first thing that I jumped into. That was my strong suit and something that I really wanted to work a lot on. With my field experience, I did my teaching work sample over my math lesson, a math unit of reading and interpreting data. What that was made up of was making a lot of picture graphs, bar graphs, and line plots. So I'd have the students, first we would analyze them and be able to tell data on those. From there, we went ahead and we created our own. I guess one thing that I found with my students is that creating the graphs was by far the hardest part. The picture graphs were more difficult of the three. The thing with the picture graphs that we found out is that they had to make up their own key, and a lot of times there was a lot of confusion with working with the key. So after we did our lesson with making our own picture graphs, and after I did the assessment on that, I found that we had to go back and rework through that lesson. So that was one part of my teaching work sample that if I had to change a little bit, it would be just putting more detail into the picture graph and the keys. And I guess that did show on the test, but overall, I was very pleased with the test. From there, we worked with the Journey reading series. I think that reading series is very well thought out, makes the kids write a lot, and I think that's an important skill right now for third graders as they're just starting to develop their paragraphs and their sentence structures. We did make them write. I did have them do a lesson on multiple paragraph writing over the boxcar children, and the students seemed to really enjoy that. They were involved with the book. I guess one of the big takeaways that I have is the engagement part. One thing I found is that when students became less engaged, they lost the focus. I had to regroup them with brain breaks and stuff. So big engagement was also key, a lot of enthusiasm, and getting the kids involved with the work, especially with the math. I had the students always up to the board doing work just to kind of get the excitement factor of, oh, somebody gets to come up to the board. Who wants to be the next one to come up? And a little bit of a competition and excitement to get up to the board was always something that they loved. Another thing with my student teaching that I also kind of talked about was the brain breaks. Brain breaks are totally new for me. It's something I never had in school. A little bit in college, but I kind of wanted to dive full into these and try them out. I really like the brain breaks. I guess it really just helps burn just that little bit of energy to focus the students back up. A lot of our brain breaks were either some kind of Simon Says where we did some dance, or Go Noodle was a very popular tool with the students. There was an animated series on dance moves that they would have to do, and the students at this age are really into that animated factor. So, with that, a couple other things that I liked that I used, kind of neat tools that I liked, was Which One Doesn't Belong. I use this. Which One Doesn't Belong consists of 4 pictures, and 3 of them have something in common, and 1 does not. And they have multiple scenarios. Some have up to 15 to 20 scenarios. And this was just a great starter for every lesson that I taught. Kind of got that critical thinking involved, and I think that was an important factor. And we kind of turned it into a game a little bit by keeping score, trying to beat our score. Rewards if we had so many points from the day before. If we beat our score from the day before, we'd get ready 2 minutes before recess. Just those little things to kind of really get the kids started off. But overall, I had a really great experience over in Chester. I had a great cooperating teacher. She was very willing to let me work and take over the class. And overall, I just had a great experience.